Hey everybody, this is Steve again, and we have been discussing the principal attraction of the pirate island of Bao Bay, and that is Gong Zhu's transformation. We have seen two wonderful realms of the Gossamers. We saw a lush rainforest, we saw a sort of a frosty winter forest wonderland. Now we've been whisked back into the Hall of Mirrors, but we're not there long. As we are beckoned through a third mirror, we find ourselves in a third and completely different environment. This one seems to be a vast and futuristic looking throne room. We notice giant white pillars going from the floor all the way up to the ceiling. We notice in the background there's a giant statue, marble statue, of King Gossamer Lion, and he stands there, that stately beast, sitting upon his throne 10 stories high. The look of this place is kind of futuristic and ancient at the same time. How do you mean, Steve? Well, I'll explain it to you. It's ancient in that we're seeing, marble statuary and great giant pillars, but we notice that sort of bookcasing that giant statue are huge, enormous, sizzling Tesla coils. And if we look up to the top of those pillars, we see that they seem to be holding up an upside down glass city with giant glass skyscrapers. Think of what Shanghai and Dubai are sort of moving toward. Imagine them in 100 years. That's what's sort of up above us. It's hard to get a sense of the dimensions of the room. There's only one wall that we can see. The other three walls are invisible to us. We're not even sure if it's open air. The one wall that we do see, at the top of that, there are the busts of all of the Gossamers, except these aren't ordinary busts. These busts can move and interact, which they are doing. Suddenly we hear a hiss, and slithering down one of the giant white pillars is our next Gossamer. This is Shui Snake, and she is the most beautiful serpent that you have ever seen. So many vibrant colors, because each and every one of her scales is a jewel. She catches the light and sends beautiful colors everywhere, occasionally even blinding us. And that's one of Shui Snake's powers. She can blind an opponent if she wants to. Well, she playfully slithers about our feet and makes her way to Gong Zhu, and when she does, Gong Zhu picks her up and drapes her over her shoulders and wears her like a beautiful piece of jewelry. They're clearly old friends, and Shui Snake sings her verse of the song, her verse of introduction, and just as the song ends, there's a single feather descends from above. Gong Zhu reaches out, takes a look at it, and smiles because she knows what's about to happen. Our two next Gossamers appear together. They are two Gossamer birds. They descend and they land next to one another. This is NB Peacock and Howley Falcon. An NB Peacock is a mighty peacock with a giant peacock tail, as colorful and beautiful as you've ever seen. The eyes on the tail seem to wink and blink and move from side to side. The tail, we begin to notice, looks like it's made of metal, and indeed it is. It can be used as a weapon to slice through things. It's also an amazing impenetrable shield. Howley Falcon has a very special tail, and she can shed as many tail feathers as she wants, endlessly, infinitely, and that tail can also expand to become a mighty creature. Well, these two seem to be friends, and they notice that as the light is hitting them, their bodies and feathers are casting shadows on the wall. So in this next little sequence, they do a wonderful dance where they create shadow puppetry as they sing their verse of introduction and make beautiful pictures and things with their shadows, ending with shadows right there on the statue of King Gossamer Lion. Well, maybe that dance and those shadows did something, because suddenly we feel a rumble. It's earthquake-like and loud, and things seem to be shaking. We see the statue blink once, then twice, and then suddenly the arms are moving at the throne, and stone starts crumbling away as King Gossamer Lion seems to come to life and the statue stands. And way more than 10 stories tall now, and lets out a mighty roar and walks right over to Gong Zhu. This is maybe the first time we've seen Gong Zhu even slightly intimidated by anything. However, there is no animosity between them. They bow to one another. There is clearly mutual respect. King Gossamer Lion seems to be in a very good mood and sings a celebratory song. During his song, he invites all of the Gossamers that we have met to come and to sing with him. And now we have a great finale to this song that we've been hearing in little parts all along. Everybody joins together in song. We see all the Gossamers doing their magic, doing their stuff. And when it ends and comes to a mighty crescendo, we are whisked back into the Hall of Mirrors. This time the mirrors shrink down to their normal size behind us, and we are sent back out into Bao Bay to explore Skull Mountain or any of the other wonderful areas of this island. Or maybe we just need to sit down and think about what we just saw at this extraordinary attraction, Gong Zhu's transformation.